Hello, super friends. Thank you for joining me here. It is what I would call the morning after the night before, meaning it's the day after a very potent full moon. And I don't know about you all, but my little feeling body was rocked by this moon. It's been off kilter for several days now, and I wasn't even planning on coming in to deliver you a message, much less a video message. Um, but a pretty big one came through today for me when I sat down in meditation and I asked about our little group. And I know just by looking at statistics that many more of you will watch my videos with my face than listen to my voice. Now, that might have something to do with the poor quality of the last post, but more of you are watching my face than listening to my voice. And so I thought I would come on camera and deliver pretty big message that came through for us. And so, as usual, I'm going to start right in here because my son is going to be home from school soon. And so, I want to try and finish before he comes in. But as usual, take what resonates, leave the rest behind. I feel like this message might get a little bit more specific than some of the messages I've left here before, just because it like it came through so clearly and so potently that it feels like this may not be for everyone, but there are going to be some of you, many of you, maybe all of you, I don't know, that are going to resonate with this very deeply. And so I'm just going to give it to you. um I didn't draw any cards for this message. I haven't actually done that for any of our messages thus far. But images, tarot images, tarot, however you pronounce it, um, I call them tarot cards. Images come through for me sometimes in meditation without the cards necessarily coming forward. And that was very much the case today. Um, so I'll share with you the cards that came through. Again, even though I didn't draw them, I feel like the cards, the images came through for me to understand the message. So I'll share both with you. I'll share the cards that came through and then the what I received from them, almost as if I was giving you a tarot reading. But the message really started with song lyric. Um, the song is One Red Thread by Blind Pilot. Older song, probably, I think it came out when I was in nursing school. So probably 2006, 7, 8, somewhere in there. Um, that song came out and it resonated deeply with me then, and it came through today. And there were sort of two messages from that song that I sat with. One is the idea of the red thread. So for those of you who are followers of Mary Magdalene, I know there are several of you in my community. I know I can tell you that I am one of them as well. I believe that Mary Magdalene was the partner, the beloved of Christ, and she represents the divine feminine on the Judaic tree of life. So those many people who follow Mary Magdalene who want to sort of represent or remind themselves of the sacred feminine in their lives will wear a red thread tied around their left wrist, the left being the feminine pillar of the tree of life. Some people will have like very fancy jewelry. Sorry, you can see the boo-boos on my hands. Um, so that's where I went first. I went to, okay, like divine feminine, Mary Magdalene, one red thread. Uh, but the chorus of that song of One Red Thread is the only line that is true is the line you're from. And when I hear that, I go to ancestral lines. So I didn't know if we were going back to following an ancestral line like Mary Magdalene's ancestral line all the way back, or if I was being led back through time and space on my own lines, or what was happening. But what ended up coming through, if you can hold that image of the Judaic tree of life with its two pillars, it's masculine, which is the Christ consciousness, and the feminine, which is the Sophia consciousness, the Mary Magdalene, the divine feminine consciousness. Mary Magdalene and Christ were Jewish mystics, so they were practitioners of Kabbalah. They were practitioners of the tree of life, and they had an understanding that um, love, true love, true trunk heart of the tree, could not be balanced. You could not get there without a beloved companion and without your beloved counterpart. And this is not gendered. So we all have sacred feminine and divine masculine within us. So I'm not saying that a man needs to be with a woman. I am simply saying that we all have divine feminine and divine masculine. And in order to come to wholeness at the center, we want to bring them both together, not gendered, just sacred feminine, sacred masculine. And the feeling that I got as I sat with the only line that is true is the line you're from was this feeling that there is much healing that wants to be done on our ancestral lines to come to a place of being able to fully embody your divine masculine and feminine within, to rebalance, to heal, so we could hold a beloved. We can hold ourselves as beloved, or we can hold another as beloved. So that's the first thing that came through, was one red thread, the ancestral line, healing the ancestral line and rebalancing the sacred feminine and divine masculine. I also could hear the song lyrics themselves, which, like, not just the chorus, but the whole song, which is really all about, at least my interpretation, it's really all about ancestral wounding and getting distracted and not knowing it, being poisoned. I believe the word is poison, being poisoned by your line and letting it get in the way of love. The next place that I went, I saw, so I sat with that and I was like, okay, what's next? And almost as if I was drawing a card, the image from the traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck, of the Nine of Cups came forward. And in the Nine of Cups, so the Nine of Cups, some readers will say, okay, make a wish, it's your wish come true. And so that's where I went with it first. I heard, okay, like, make a wish, your wish is going to come true. Whatever your wish is, it's going to come true. But then I heard, be careful what you wish for. And then I was sort of drawn to the image on the card, which is this sort of, like, I don't know, cherubic, like, robust man with like a full belly and a crown surrounded by all of these cups. And so I was like, okay, be careful what you wish for. And the shadow side of the Nine of Cups is, so the the upright meaning would be abundance, pleasure, almost like in, I don't know if you saw my last reading, my last message, but we talked about Netzach, which is on the tree of life. It's balanced with Hod, and Hod is communication, and Netzach is pleasure when it's balanced, but it's also like addiction and compulsion when it's out of balance. And the feeling was like this card, this Nine of Cups, was really representing like someone who is really like self-indulgent, like indulging themselves in too much, like excess is the feeling that I got. So not the Nine of Cups wish fulfillment, but more like the either be careful what you wish for, or the overindulgence, like my will over thy will, like it's the selfishness really is what came through. And I was like, oh, that's not what that's like not the way I like to see that card. When I see that card, I'm like, oh yay, wish fulfillment. But my guides were like, no, that's not what's going on here. This is not wish fulfillment. This is self-indulgence at the expense of another or others. The next image that I was shown was the Eight of Swords, which is one of the two major fear cards in tarot. And it's like a self-inflicted fear. So if you see the image there, it's a woman and she's blindfolded and she's surrounded by eight swords, like she's encircled by these swords. I like to call this particular card the toilet paper and toothpicks card because it's a card of fear, but it's a card of fear that's coming from all like inside of us. So it's no real threat. There's no external threat. Like you're not about to die. It's not the 10 of swords where you've got 10 swords in your back and you're done. You've been like game over. It's not that. It is toilet paper and toothpicks. I have surrounded myself by these toothpicks and I've blindfolded myself with toilet paper. And what I'm being invited to do is take off the toilet paper and push aside. I don't know if you remember back in the 70s, the like cocktails would come with like cherries and things on like a little sword toothpick skewer. Like that's what I see. Like get rid of the cocktail skewers and take the toilet paper off your head and look and see what's in front of you. And so we have this like self-indulgent, like my will, my desire, my pleasure, and then this fear, like this self-inflicted fear. And so I just sat with those two images along with the red thread and knowing that we were talking about balancing out the heart space, balancing out the divine masculine and the sacred feminine, and the end goal was to come to love. And I just sat, and I'm going to sit with it now because I want to make sure that I get the whole message as it came through me, which is the wounding on the ancestral line. So the healing that is we're being invited into, the healing that wants to happen is of this fear, of this fear that is, it's like it's the poisoning from the ancestral line that is causing this fear in us. It's keeping us in fear, it's keeping us bound, but we're not actually bound. We're being invited into removing the toilet paper, seeing that these are not swords, but they're cocktail skewers, they're toothpicks, and stepping out of that into our healing. Coming back to the Nine of Cups, to that selfish character on the card, the feeling is that the fear is related to the selfishness, but the selfishness is not actually true selfishness. It is, again, that poisoning from the ancestral line, the fear, the inadequacy, whatever stories we're telling ourselves that are leading us to overindulge or to be selfish and not giving of ourselves in love, to be like taking, it's like taking energy, like, oh, like I want to overstuff myself, I want to overfeed myself. And and then we get into this place of fear, but it goes backwards too. The fear is what's like leading us to the compulsion, to the overeating, to the hypersexuality, to the like crazy pants exercise, or like I'm gonna take control and I'm gonna like control my food, and I'm going to like there's different ways of being in that unhealthy Nine of Cups, which is like in your cups, like all the way in and overindulging in substances, but it can also be like overindulging in the compulsion place as well. But the way I was being shown the red thread and the way they weave together, so it keeps us in fear, it keeps us overindulging, and it keeps us what I heard was sin. Okay, but I'm gonna tell you right now that when I hear that word, I do not think of sin as in what Christianity tells us or Judaism or the Abrahamic traditions tell us. I that when I hear that word, I'm always like, huh, because I don't I don't believe in original sin. I believe that we all came here of love, from love, and we are made of love. We don't come in here tarnished. That's a story from Catholicism. That's a story from toxic patriarchal Christianity and Abrahamic traditions that says that we're somehow marred when we enter here. And so when I heard sin, I was like, what is that? And I know that there is a place in first of all, I think it's in Mary Magdalene's gospel. It's in the Gospel of Mary or the Beloved Companion, but I think it's Mary, where Peter asks Jesus. So maybe it was the Beloved Companion. I don't know exactly, but Peter, I believe it's Peter, asked Jesus, like tell us about the sin of the world, and Jesus says there is none. There is no sin. And he redirects Peter toward sin being the absence of love. Okay. So that is the way I hold the global idea of sin. So I don't think any of us is sinners. I hear it more like with like from the Latin, from Spanish, sin, which to me points me in the direction of without, which is without love. So coming back to the image of the Eight of Swords and the Nine of Cups and that thread, the whole thread is without love. We are without love. Sin love, sin amor. we are we are without love and we need to get to love. So what do we need to do to get to love was my next question. And I saw so there were three card images that came through, and I didn't sit with them very long because I got the message. So first of all, the cards that came through, uh one was the Three of Cups, which is like more love, right? Like Three of Cups is it's a card of friendship, it's a card of reunion, it's a card of coming together, and it didn't feel like it was in shadow, especially surrounded by the other cards, which were Justice, which is balance to me. It's like a balancing of the scales and like a karmic balancing of the scales. And then the Ten of Pentacles, which is this beautiful one big happy family, abundance. It's like it's the Nine of Cups is one before the Ten of Cups, which is like joyous, big, happy family. The Nine of Pentacles is a singles person energy. It's like I'm without my partner and I'm looking for my partner. So when I see the Ten of Pentacles, I know it's like, okay, one big, happy family here. And so how do we get there? How do we, and the red thread is running through all of these cards. How do we get there? How do we get there? How do we get there? And so I just sat, and what came forward was an image of Christ, the particular image of Christ that I saw, I have on my altar. I could probably show you. I have an image of Mary Magdalene and Christ together. And in most images in most icon, and it's done in a traditional iconography uh, way. And usually you see Christ very large and you see anyone else depicted as very small. And what I love about this one is they are depicted as equals. Um, you'll also see Mary Magdalene very sexualized in a lot of images of her, simply because she's the whore, which we know that she is not. She's not sexualized in this. They are together. They are equal. So I saw that image, and I but it was him in this particular image that I was drawn to. And what I heard is love is mercy. Love is mercy. Love is mercy. And so what I gleaned from that, the feeling that I got from that is that we as a collective are meant to bring love, to bring mercy, not just to ourselves for where we are, to like lovingly accept where we are right now as being exactly right, but also to bring that mercy all the way down and through. So bringing the mercy from the 10 of pentacles, from the complete picture of this is the love, this is the life, this is the abundance, this is the family. Even if you don't have a family, even if you're, you know, somebody that you consider yourself as a lone wolf, like this is it. This is the the 10 of pentacles is like, this is where we want to be. This is our mana from heaven. This is where we want to end up. So bringing the love from Christ, from the balance of Mary Magdalene and Christ, following it through the red thread, back through the reunion or the friendship and the companionship, through that Eight of Swords, which is that self-inflicted fear, so that everything falls away, through the Nine of Cups, so that the Nine of Cups no longer becomes the self-indulgent, selfish character, but becomes that wish card, the make a wish. So the wish is now granted and it comes all the way back down through your ancestral lines, through our ancestral lines for healing. And so I did the energy work that went with that. I brought that mercy, and what it looked like was this white light illuminating this red thread. And it goes beyond, by the way, it goes beyond the one big happy abundant family. It goes forward. So anything moving from this healed place is going to be healed, and anything moving backward, everything heals backward as well. So the work that you do on yourself to eliminate this fear, to allow that fear to drop away, to get away from that narrative of I am selfish, I am not good, I am bad, following that light, bringing that light all the way down and through the ancestral lines and healing the very origin of the place that it came from, because it's not from you, it's not of you, it's not from you, it's well before you, it's well before all of us, and we all have it in us. So if you are feeling like I'm singling you out in this storyline, know that this is for all of us. But there are a few of you here who are like, oh yeah, this is my story. I'm particularly speaking to you, and I am one of those people, by the way. Um, letting that healing come all the way down the line, and then allowing yourself to hold it and believe it. I was reminded, and I'm being reminded again, to share with you what I share with all of my coaching clients, which is, okay, I've just done energy work on you. And granted, I've done energy work on our collective. So it's a little different than the individual, but don't go picking at it. So if you're able to, if you can trust me that I have done the healing work on this line, on this particular ancestral line, so that you can now come to, in the place that I would recommend you come to like, if you are going to pick at it, I know you're going to pick at it because we all pick at it, but I know you're going to want to feel into that place. And so I'm going to invite you to feel into the image of the swords falling away and the toilet paper blindfold being ripped off of your head, so that you are free to stand in your truth, which is, we are all good. We all come from love. We are not sinners. We are not bad. We are not wrong. We have wounding in us that makes us believe that we are bad or wrong. And any place where you feel that you have wronged another or wronged yourself, just for now, let it fall away. Let it be healed. Stand without the toothpicks and toilet paper, stand without the swords and the blindfold, and allow yourself to turn toward your friends, to turn toward community. There's a feeling of coming out of your, like, I am selfish, I am alone, because the Eight of Swords and the Nine of Cups are also very like, I am alone in this. The feeling is to turn toward your friends, to turn toward your community, and to allow them to see the good. So Mary Magdalene doesn't really speak of Holy Spirit or Christ consciousness or any of those things. She speaks of God and heaven and love as the good, right? So which I guess now that I'm saying that, I was like, oh, okay, there's more of the red thread here too. It's the thread of the good that runs through all of us. It's a thread of recognition of the good that runs through all of us. So turn toward that Three of Cups first and foremost. Turn toward your community, turn toward your family, turn toward your people, and allow them to see the good in you. Allow them to allow the idea that you are a sinner to fall away, and to understand that sin is just like those places in you that were operating from a lack of love, whether it's a lack of self-love or lack of love for another. Turn toward your community, turn toward your people, tell them you love them, allow them to offer you love as well. Allow that love, that thread of love, that thread of the good. Find the thread of good, of the good, of spirit, of divinity, of your soul running through all of you. Gather in community. And if you can feel that love there, and again, like, here's the ancestral, here's the past, here's the future, like, and we've been in fear. We've been right here in fear in the present moment. We're turning just a little bit. We're shifting energetically a little bit to the right. We're allowing ourselves to come together with our people, whether it's your BFF or your boyfriend or your girlfriend, your husband, your kids, whomever your community is, turning toward your community. And I'm just hearing now, like, what if I don't have community? I know you have someone. If you don't have someone, you have me. So come and reach out to me and I will give you love. Um, I start all of my retreats basically by saying, if you don't believe that you are loved now, you will believe it before the end of the day. And I mean loved in all the ways. So if you're like, I'm all by myself, there is no love for me, come and get it. Come and get it. Come find me. I'll give you love. But there, turn to your people, allow yourself to give and receive love. There's like this on the Three of Cups card, they're making a circle, they're almost dancing. The three, it's three women in the Rider Waite deck. It's almost like a maypole kind of event. Allow that to happen, and then follow the thread. And you don't need to rush here, you don't need to rush into your future. But if you want it, the next timeline, the next shift that you're being invited to take, that we're all being invited to take, is into that 10 of Pentacles, into that ultimate abundance, that happy, healthy family. That, like, there's the dog on the card. I don't even have a Rider Waite deck out, but I was seeing all Rider Waite images. There's a dog and a little baby and a mom and a dad. And again, it doesn't mean that you have to be masculine and feminine. I'm not, when I'm speaking of balancing the masculine and feminine, I'm speaking of balancing those inside of you. So even if you are not looking for a family, even if that's not you, what we're looking to do is to invite that balance of healthful divine masculine and divine feminine inside of you, all the way through your central channel, all the way through your system, knowing that sin is only without love in all of those places that you've chosen to keep love out or believe you didn't deserve love. We all deserve love. We all are made of love, and we're all being invited. And again, I just did my best to help us all by moving things along that ancestral line so that we can feel and be open to it a little bit more. I'm going to look at my notes to see if there's anything I missed. Yeah. Uh, Good recognizes good. I think I said that just that that thread of recognizing the goodness in each and every person out there, even if it's harder to recognize in some people more than others. We're being invited to look for the thread of good that run through even the people that we don't desire to have any relationship with or ever see again. There's still going to be some thread of good in there. Oh, that's the other piece that I completely forgot to mention. And one of the things that happens, one of the reasons why we fall into these places of fear and selfishness and not love is because we haven't been taught that we are love and that we are inherently good. We have been taught, especially if you grew up in an Abrahamic tradition, we have been taught the opposite, that we came here tarnished and we need to prove ourselves. And it's part of the lie, but it's often difficult because we've not been taught historically that it's a lie. We've been taught that we're bad. And so it's sometimes difficult to recognize your thread of goodness that has never left you, that you arrived here with and is not going anywhere. We get distracted by all of the things that we call bad in ourselves, and we can't find the thread of goodness. And just know that it's not your fault. It's in some ways it's I mean, it's definitely by toxic patriarchal design that we were taught that we were bad and had to earn love and earn a status of goodness. Uh, but it's not true. And we just have never been taught that it's not true. And one of the things that I'm here to teach you, one of the reasons why I'm doing this is because I want you all to know that you are good. You are love, even if you're having difficulty finding it inside of yourself. Hopefully, I made it a little bit easier for you today. All right. I think that I'm finished. I think that's what I have. Just gonna close my eyes and see if there's anything else that wants to come. No, I don't think so. I think we're complete. I'm going to invite you to like and share and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'm so grateful that you came here to listen to me now and stayed through to the end. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Tell your friends. I'm I'm clear, though I'm not clear where I'm headed with my business. I'm very clear that this is where my work in the world is heading. And so I'm going to be showing up here on the regular to do this with you. Um, I'm also, in case you're wondering what else I'm up to, I've been writing, trying to finish up my book, but I'm also being guided toward possibly starting a Substack, which would be similar to what I do here, but it will probably combine a little bit more of all of me. So right now, the theme, I believe, is medicine, mysticism, and motherhood. So look for that too. I'll tell you when it's coming out and around. All right, that's enough of me for today. Thank you. I love you. I do. Bye bye.